Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Hetzer, or rather it's the Jagdpanzer 38T Hetzer, because this is a Jagdpanzer, not... well, the Hetzer name comes after it. Anyway, it's based on the Light Viz 38 or the Panzer 38T, and it's got a 105mm dirt gun on this one. And it's capable of 350 alpha, penetrating 64mm of armour with the AP rounds. And he's loading AP, he's only got 4 of them, but he's mostly carrying HE rounds. Now those HE rounds are capable of 410 alpha, penetrating 53mm. So you get more pen with the standard AP, but you're not guaranteed to get a hit. And of course HE does module damage. The heat rounds will go through 104mm, so at tier 4 that's quite a lot of damage. Now the player on this occasion is ChoosenDark of REBRN. Yes, I do get a lot of replays from REBRN, but then I am in that clan and therefore I am going to do replays for them, because if they've got a good one, yep, they're going to get priority to a certain extent. Now he's doing exactly what I would do, which is go over to this side of the map. If I'm in a tank destroyer, you can get really good shots on the enemy as they try to approach, but this is a little closer than I'd normally go. I'd stick in the bushes at the back there, because you can get more damage without them actually seeing. You just need somebody a little further up front to spot for you. But on this occasion, it looks like ChoosenDark's chosen to, well, go up front, and he's just fired one blind shot in that direction, so he's only got 3 rounds of AP now, just testing to see if somebody's behind those bushes. You don't get a whole lot of ammunition, so you can't afford to waste too many rounds. Oh, T28 took that one. 367 went right through the thin sides of the T28. Of course, T28 is quite a mid-war design. Wasn't really up to the tanks that it was facing during the Operation Barbarossa. And he's out the game now, and that's all of the AP rounds gone. He's actually loading a heat round now. In fact, he's decided to go for the HE. I think he suddenly realised, oops, I pressed the wrong button. Now you can see with the gun is actually on one side of the vehicle, and the reason for that is actually down to the fact that the driver has to be on the other side so you can see where you're going, and the gunner as well, well, they need to be able to see and load. It means that you've got a narrow arc of fire to the left, but you're much better to the right, because the gun being on the right hand side of the machine will pivot to the right more than it will pivot to the left, because the side of the vehicle gets in the way. If they'd mounted the gun right down the center, you would have had equal amounts of pivot either side. And in fact, the Hetzer was originally designed from the Maresal, the Romanian tank, which was a prototype, which actually had the original kind of rhomboid shape and was much lower and had a crew of 3. The Hetzer has more crew, it's 4 crew. And in fact, it was after the Maresal was seen by Hitler and his generals that they decided to build their own version, and that's when they came up with the Hetzer. Or rather, they asked the armed industry, Waffenland I think it was, to actually come up with a design that would match the Maresal. Okay, we've got 2 tank destroyers there now, Stug 3G and a Sav M43, the Swedish tank destroyer. The Stug, he's probably got the 75mm gun, but he might have the dirt gun. Most Stug 3G drivers drive around with the 75mm because it's got a faster fire rate, and the 75mm has got decent penetration. There's an enemy Hetzer. Yep, he felt that. 135, but he might fire back, or will he? Probably not actually now. And no, he won't, because he's out the game. Okay, second kill. Let's get this Stug. Looks like he's got the standard gun.
That was close. No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. Wait. That was close.
And we've got the Klaus mod in operation. Didn't realise that. Don't know what triggered him. Klaus, get back in your box. Well, the enemies are hit by one tank. They seem to have the centre of the map under their control. 3001's moving up, and he's taking a bit of a risk because two tank destroyers facing him. They probably don't realise that ChoosenDark's back here. They may not have seen him. They're fairly inexperienced players, but then so is the VK3001H. Chosen's decided he's going to stay here for the moment. He's not under threat from his right because he's got a bush in the way which is concealing his position. The still comes in sight. Oh, now that shell hit his own teammate in the turret. You can see the mark. And that means that Chosen's probably missed out on getting a high caliber now. The VK wasn't affected by it, didn't lose any hit points thanks to team damage being out the game, but if that had actually, if there was team damage in the game, he probably would have been wiped out by that shot, because he's only got 125 hit points left. And oh, he just took some fire from enemy tank, and I think that was an M5 Stuart that hit him. No shot into the M10. He turns back because, oh, and he turns back just in time to see the Stug 3G take out his teammate, but there goes the Stug. I think there's a Stuart up there because I'm pretty sure the Stuart was the one that holed the VK3001. The Sav M43 is hiding in the bushes. Next time we see him, it'll probably be after he's fired at us. There's the M5 Stuart. Just as I said, he's coming up this way, lined in up, and yes! Oh, he took them round, but he didn't die. Auto aim on. He's locked him. Guy's gone low. This is it, inviting him to come around the corner and deal with him, but the Sav will probably fire at him if he does. But it's worth it. Yep, he's gone. I'm surprised the Sav didn't fire, but there's the Sav. Ah, he may only have the 75mm gun. That may be the reason why he didn't engage. He's trying to creep out. Oh, or is it? No. Can't see from here if he's got the 105mm or not. But Chosen's all on his own now against 3 opponents. I think that is the 105. It's a much bigger gun than the 75. Just get him. Yes! Well done. Well, he's qualified for the high caliber in terms of 20%, but the problem is that he hit his teammate. Get the gun to bear. Yes! Took some damage from the Panzer Mark IV, and here comes the enemy M10. Oh, and now he's got past him, so he has to turn, and he needs to get his back up against the... Oh, that didn't work. Failed at the last moment. The M10 got him. You need to get your back against the windmill in order to stop the M10 getting behind you, but he did get down the side of ChoosenDark and got taken out. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And here's the end of battle results, and it was a first class tanker for ChoosenDark in the Jagdpanzer 38T Hetzer. T means it's a foreign tank to the Germans. It's the first time he's had a first class tanker in this tank. He also managed to get a fire for effect and a bruiser out of the minor medals, and he got a top gun, but he missed out on the high caliber because of the damage he did to his teammate. 11,240 was the win rate from the game, which is very, very high indeed. And you don't need to do a lot of damage to get a high caliber in this tank, because it does it all for you, really. You can see he did get the highest damage in the game, 2,165. He did have 20%, so he would have got the high caliber, but for that single shot that hit the 3001H and disqualified him, unfortunately. The next high scorer being the DSPZ, who got 1,962. He got a high caliber instead, and because it transfers down if you actually do the teammate, and he's got 20%. He has to have the 20% in order to get it. And then on the enemy team, the last person alive was their M10 RBFM with 1,898, the third highest damage. Their Matilda managed to get a Confederate as well. When it came to kills, it was ChoosenDark with 6 kills, 5 kills for the M10 RBFM, which included ChoosenDark, and 4 kills for the other Hetzer, 3 kills for the DSPZ. And when it came to base XP, it's the M10, I'm afraid. 1,078 to him. He's the only one over 1,000. And I'm afraid ChoosenDark only got 585, which puts him in 4th place on XP. 17 shots fired, 14 direct hits, 6 penetration, and 7 splash. Damage of 2,165 hit points, of which 554 were at more than 300 meters. He received 7 hits from the enemy, 4 of which penetrated, 3 non-penetrations, and 120 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He took away 18,533 credits profit from that game. Got the Courageous Resistance Award, you see, and because he got a Battle Hero Medal, the Top Gun. And he also got 2,552 XP, including the Courageous Resistance again. And so it wasn't a total loss, but it was a pity that it ended up being a loss, a defeat overall. He did do very well, got some nice shots in that game, except of course for that one bad shot that he fired, a kind of a snapshot actually, which accidentally hit his own teammate. You've got to watch out for that. If your enemy is, or if your teammate is within the reticule, you really should avoid trying to shoot, because you never know, the dispersion might send the shell onto your teammate instead of the enemy. So, good try by ChoosenDark. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.